Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I've got a Project Pan update. So this month, I'm not gonna lie, I started off kind of slow, and then I had a whole bunch of 11th hour finished items and one pan over the last week. So I have 4 items that I am going to be rolling out, and my 21 in 21 count has also increased. So that is really exciting, and I am super excited to share. So let's get into it. Okay, so my first item was the Aussie Sponge Spray. So when I started, I was here, then I was here by last month, and she's empty. I am so happy to have this done because, as you know, if you've seen my other videos, I am not like the biggest fan of this. It's mostly water and denatured alcohol, and I'm not trying to put alcohol on my hair, so I'm just really happy to have this finished. It was kind of one of those items, I'd used enough of it that I didn't feel justified throwing it away, so I wanted to finish it even if I didn't necessarily entirely enjoy the experience. So I am just really happy to have this out. I think this is the oldest personal care item or makeup item that I own that I'm still using. So definitely happy to see this leave, and so that means that I can actually focus on my next roll-in. So I'm going to be rolling in this Live Clean Argan oil treatment. Allegedly this is an oil treatment, although I don't know if you guys can see the texture, but it's very viscous. So I've actually been using this more as a gel. I haven't really talked a whole lot about my hair care routine because I'm still trying to figure it out and sort of lean into whatever my natural hair texture is. So I have been following something that I'm going to call Curly Girl Adjacent. So I have been scrunching this stuff into my hair while it's wet, letting it fully air dry, and then scrunching again to kind of like break up the cast. And this has been working pretty well. It is kind of like a looser sort of gel formula, but it does work. And yeah, so I would like to finish this. I have no idea how old this is because this is yet another hair care product that my mom has purchased, realized that she didn't like or wasn't right for her hair texture, and has then passed along to me. And then the back is like completely gone. So I have no idea how old this is. And I also feel like because Live Clean is a more natural beauty brand, I feel like the texture could change, so I'd like to finish this before that happens. It still smells fine and the texture hasn't changed or anything since I've had it, so I think it's still fine to use, but I just want to, you know, make sure that I do finish it up. This is going to be in here for a while, and I know that because I don't know how well you can see my Sharpie markings, but this was like where I was. I know it says October, but November because I was with my parents for the entirety of October. So this is basically November to March. So I've used about this much of it. I only use about a nickel-sized amount every single time I do my hair. So I do expect that this is going to be in here a while, but now that I'm done with this Sponge Spray, I can focus on using this more, and then hopefully by the end of the month I'll have a better sense of like how quickly I'm going through it and be able to, I guess, adjust my expectations for when I might be able to finish this. So yeah, super happy. I do actually really like this product, so definitely looking forward to getting to use it a little bit more. So next up, I had my Body Shop Shea Butter Lotion, and so when I rolled this in last month, I was pretty much finished it. I just needed to cut open the bottom of the bottle, and I just scraped it out and put it into a mason jar, and now it's done. This was my first empty. I thought I would get 1, maybe 2 uses out of it, and I actually got 3. So I think there is something to be said for cutting open the bottom of your pump bottles and getting out any last product that is in there. So definitely glad I did. I really did enjoy this. It was a very thick and rich formula, and I think I mentioned this before, but I have keratosis pilaris on my legs, and that looks so much better if I'm actually moisturizing. So I pretty much used this on my legs, and I think I got like, yeah, 3.5-ish uses. So just happy to have this done. So I generally tend to, at least for personal care items like lotion, I tend to buy them as needed and use one until it's gone. So I don't have anything to replace that with, but I am sort of pulling my items from my 21 in 21 list. So I guess in the sense of like personal care items, I'm going to be rolling in the Sephora lip scrub. Now, I got this in the summer, and as you can see, I have used most of it. There's only a tiny little bit left, but I think once I get this flat, I will probably scrape the last of it out. I bought this, I'm pretty sure, because I needed to reach, I think it was the exact dollar amount that I needed to reach like the next tier for like a discount or shipping or something. And I think I said previously that I didn't think that it had made a noticeable difference to like exfoliating my lips, and I would like to amend that statement. I think that it has helped a little bit. However, it comes in plastic, and I have a washcloth or an electric toothbrush which can do the exact same thing for free without generating plastic, especially because I think I got this in July or August, and it should be gone by the end of March, so I would probably have to buy like 2 of these a year, and I just don't really think it's worth it. So I do want to finish it up. Now I know, and then, well, move on to something else. So yeah, I think this will probably be gone by the end of March. So we'll see how that goes. So my NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, aka the reason that I'm always wearing high neck sweaters whenever I film. This guy is, I thought I had it done, and then I went to use it today, and there's still a little bit left. I used this 5 additional times, so 11 times total since rolling it into this project, and there's a lot in here. I have to use a bunch though because I need quite a bit to even things out and sort of cover up, I guess, undertones underneath, because this is quite peachy and I am not. So, and then I take it pretty far down my neck. So I'm really surprised that this is not done, but I am at a point where I do have to like bend it in order to get stuff out. So I think that this will definitely be done in a few weeks. If I just like focus and use it, I'm pretty sure this will be done soon. And honestly, I like this. Again, it's just one of those products where I don't know why I was feeling bougie enough to spend $50, because this was $50 I think at the time that I bought it. It's now 58 Canadian, which, like, ouch. But on a product that does not match my skin tone or my undertones. Like, that was just a bad like decision, and I do think that it's gorgeous. Like, I love the finish. It's so glowy and natural, but it just really doesn't match my skin. So definitely, like I said, I'm trying to finish this because I just can't justify getting rid of it for that much money, but I will definitely be happy to see the back of this. And like I said, I think I should be able to get this done this month, so fingers crossed. Okay, moving on. So I think I said I introduced this as a CoverGirl cover stick, and then I was looking at the Shoppers Drug Mart website the other day doing some research, and this is apparently, they still make these, and apparently it's by Maybelline. So I'm issuing a correction to that statement. This is by Maybelline. It's a cover stick, and this is one of those products that doesn't move a lot month to month. As you can see, I don't even know if you can tell that there's been any difference. I do use this pretty often, but it just takes a while. This sort of moves on like the geological time scale, I feel like. So I said in the intro that I hoped that I could have this done by the end of the winter semester. That is creeping up on me because it's in like 6 weeks. So I don't know if this will be finished in 6 weeks, but if that doesn't happen, we will amend to my B goal, which will be June. So as long as I'm continuing to use it, I'm okay with that. But like I said, this isn't really great as a concealer. It doesn't really work on my under eyes because it's too thick. It doesn't work super well as an eyeshadow base either. So I'm using it as a base just because that's kind of the only thing that it's good for. So I definitely have some other things that I could roll in its place. So I am looking forward to, again, finishing this up at some point over the next few months. And then it's blush time. So this was the only blush. No, this is one of 2 blushes that I took with me when I went to go see my parents. It was supposed to be 5 days. It ended up turning into 9, and I just got back yesterday. So that definitely did force me to use this a little bit more. Like I said, I like the color. I think this is a really nice color on me. I just think that this is a little bit difficult to use. I find it's very hard to blend out on bare skin. If I'm wearing like a foundation or a tinted moisturizer, this does blend out quite nicely, but I don't usually wear those. I usually just do sunscreen and skincare and bare skin, so it's just kind of a pain to use. Not a pain, that's being dramatic, but it's just not the easiest product to use how I would normally go about doing my makeup, and I don't know if you can actually see any progress. I've been focusing more on flattening the pan rather than expanding the pan. It definitely is looking flatter to me, but I can't really tell if you can see any, but I did actually use this quite a bit over in February. So again, I'm not trying to have this finished anytime. I just sort of, do want to finish it up at some point before the end of the year, so which I think is quite doable. Next up, we've got the Mary Luminizer. I am actually quite happy with how this is looking. I did not take this with me last week just because I did a pretty good job repressing it. Like, I pressed it pretty hard, but I'm always scared that it's going to shatter because it can be a little bit more of a fragile formula, and I just didn't want to deal with that, so I did leave it at home. So this is about 3 weeks worth of use. No, 2.5-ish weeks worth of use. So I think you can definitely tell that I cleaned out. I said that I wanted to have it all cleaned out in the outer ring, and I did that. And then I'm hoping that by the end of the next month, by the end of March, I can have the next ring cleaned out. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, this is a little too dark for me, but I do really enjoy the formula, and I have been like enjoying using it, but it is also quite old. So, you know, I'm enjoying using it, but I would like to have it finished up at some point. I feel like my goal of having this done by June is looking more plausible. I think my first update, I was feeling a little like, oh, I'm never gonna finish this, but I made some good progress. I definitely cleaned out the bottom left-hand corner, so like all down here has been like completely cleaned out. So like I said, I'm just feeling better about having this done at some point, hopefully within the next few months. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have another empty. So this is my Sephora Cream Liquid Lip in Marvelously Mauve, and this is finished, or at least I'm gonna call it finished. I said in my last update that once this gets to a point where it is hard to get on my lips and I can't really get enough product out, then I'm gonna call this finished, and I hit that point at some point in the last week. I am wearing it today, but it definitely looks a little bit like fuzzy on the lip line just because there's so little product left in here. So I am going to be calling this empty and rolling it out, and I am going to be replacing it with my other Sephora Cream Liquid Lip Stick, and this one is in the shade Blackberry Sorbet. So I definitely have used this less than that, so I don't know how long this is going to take before I can finish it, but I'm hoping sometime, you know, before the end of the year, I'd like to have this finished because it is pretty old, and I do like wearing a good dark lip, even though we're getting more into spring vibes, but I will wear a dark lip or a red lip year round, so I'm looking forward to wearing those a little bit more. And then for my eyeshadows, I'm gonna try not to spoil my Pan Those eyeshadows because we have an update, but I hit a new pan. So I have pan on Oasis, which is this pastel blue right here, and so that actually happened yesterday. I put this on my lash line, and this is not a very pigmented shadow, so I find you have to go in and really like build up that color, and while I was doing that, I hit pan. So I am going to be rolling this out. I think I'm going to hit pause on rolling in eyeshadows into this project because I have so many other items as part of my 21 and 21 that I would like to finish up, and I would like to be able to focus on my Pan That palette and my Pan Those eyeshadows. So I think that I am going to take a break from rolling eyeshadows into this project for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace Oasis with this Annabelle lip liner in Boysenberry. There is not a ton left on this. I've used probably half of this. So if we just compare it to my cap, that is how we're looking, and I just want to finish this before the end of the year. We'll see how long it takes. I've never really fully finished a lip liner before, so especially because this is a more out there color, like it's definitely not every day, but I think this would work well with the Sephora liquid lipstick that I just talked about. So, and I did purchase them to work together. I figured they would make a good pair. I've used Oasis 10 times. I think I'd used it 3 or 4 times as of last update, so I did definitely double down and try to incorporate into more looks. And then my last eyeshadow is Abyss, which is this matte navy blue, and I've only used this 3 times since rolling it in, and I'm not really, like, I am eventually trying to pan it, but I'm not focusing on it super hard for now. I would like to use it a couple times as an eyeliner or like a lower lash line, and I'll see how that goes. So I would like to use this, let's say 5 times over the next month, and we'll see how things look then. So that brings me to my last product, which is my nail polish. So I rolled in Revlon's Charmer during the last update, and I've used this twice, and I forgot to remark it, but there's not a ton of change. It's just sitting slightly below my Sharpie mark. So I think it's about here. I'll let it settle and I'll mark it for sure. But yeah, I've used this twice out of 5. While this is a really pretty color, I find that Revlon nail polishes don't have a ton of longevity, so I think that this will probably start chipping over the next few days. So this probably will not last a full week like the rest of my nail polishes do, so I'm hoping that I could maybe have this rolled out by the end of March. That would be cool, and have some other things to work on, so we'll see how that goes. But this is such a nice like spring color, so I usually wear this around Easter. Alright, so that's all my products and all the progress for this month. I am pretty happy with how things turned out. Obviously, hopefully for next month I can have Revlon polish rolled out and my NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. I would be really happy if those things happened, and we'll see about everything else. Right, and before I sign off, I realized that I forgot to talk about my 21 in 21 count. So I have gone from 2 products out of 21 last month to 6 for this month, and so I am up from I think it was like 9.5% last month to 28.6%. So I am pretty happy about that, and I think that I should have a couple more empties to add to that total for by the end of March. So fingers crossed. I have a couple of things that I'm working on that are either skincare or just not in a project that I should be done soon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that up. Hopefully that'll be somewhere in the 30s or 40s by the end of March. So I'm definitely on track, and I'm just feeling good about working my way through a lot of my older products. I think I mentioned in previous videos how there's sort of a delineation in my, I guess, makeup stash collection, whatever you want to call it, between products that I purchased the last time that I was spending a whole bunch of money on makeup, which was like 2015, 2016, and things that I have purchased last year and this year. So I definitely want to work on all of those older products and get them out so that I can focus on using and enjoying and curating my collection to have, you know, all my bases covered, but still make sure that I'm using everything and rotating through things often. So I am, yeah, looking forward to having a little bit more progress to share with you guys next month. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy, it would mean the world to me if you would like and possibly consider subscribing if that floats your boat, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Bye!